So, welcome everyone. This is the final session on the training of NVIVO 14, and today we are going to discuss a number of topics. For example, we will discuss the comparison diagrams. We will discuss the different types of maps like concept map, project map, mind map, and finally, we will also discuss the relationship diagrams, so how to consider the different types of relationship in an NVIVO. So we will use the same data that we were already exemplifying in our previous sessions. So let me consider a lot of things here. Let me delete it first. It is not being deleting here. So let me start from the explore section. So today, first of all, I need to discuss the comparison metrics. What are comparison metrics and how can we deal with them? So comparison metrics or comparison diagrams can show you what two items have in common and where they differ. So if you would like to see how items are different or how two items are common, you can use the comparison diagrams to uh, estimate this comparison. So you can generate a comparison diagram to compare two of the same type of project item, for example, files, codes, or cases. So we can compare two files, we can compare two codes or two cases to see their similarities and differences. So what can I use comparison diagram? You can use comparison diagram to see which file have been coded to a particular code when two cases have talked about the same topic, what two project items have in common and what is the unique to each of them. So if you want to compare two codes or two files or two cases or files, you can use these comparison methods or comparison diagrams. So how to generate a comparison diagram? On the Explore tab, click Diagram and then compare files, compare nodes or compare cases. So in case of comparison, we have three options. We might have three options: compare files, compare codes, and compare cases. So we can compare two different files, we can compare two different codes, and we can compare two different cases. So this is how we can generate it. So how can we do the comparison using this procedure? We go to Explore tabs, and if you see here, this is the Explore tab, and from here you go to the diagrams. This is the option that we are going to use. Now there are three options: compare files, compare codes, and compare cases. First of all, we need to tell NVIVO uh, for which kind of item we need the comparison. Either we are going to compare the codes, or we are going to compare the cases, or we are going to compare the files. Then on the basis of it, this option comparison diagram will be appear here or will be active here. So let's suppose we are going to compare the codes. So click on it and you need to consider the codes that you want to compare. For example, I want to compare the biological factor and psychological factor. Click OK. And after doing this, you will see comparison diagram here. So you can see the biological factor and you can see the psychological factors here. So this is how the outlook of these two different codes can be appear here. So there is one picture. There are field nodes, field node 1, R1, R4, R6, R1, R4, R6. So this is the comparison that how they have considered a particular type of code in this analysis. And if you can see here, in case of psychological factor, we have considered the picture, but in case of biological factor, we have not considered the picture. And in addition to it, if you see as a comparison, we have a lot of things in common here, like field notes 1, R1, R4, R6, R1, R4, R6. So you can see a lot of codes are common. So if we go to this scenario, for example, go to explore, go to diagram. Now the comparison matrix, you can also compare the cases. For example, I click on it and I would like to compare the cases between, for example, R4 and R5. Click on OK, and it will show you the comparison of the cases between R4 and an R5. And you can see what kind of codes are appearing in R4 and what kind of codes are appearing in R5. So this is how you can compare the cases, the codes between different files. You can also do the comparison of file. For example, I want to open the comparison of files for example, interview files. So I click on OK, select two item. All right. So let me open. You can select only two files. For example, R1 and R2. I want to select R1 and R2, or for example, I want to select the field nodes, and from field nodes, I want to select the field node 1 and field node 2. Let's suppose I want to compare these two files. Now click on OK, and it will show you the comparison diagram like this. Now it is showing that in case of field 1, which are the codes which are generated using the field nodes 1, and which are the codes which are generated using the field node 2. So it is a kind of comparison. So these are the codes on the left side which are only generated using the field node 2. And on the right side, these are the codes which are only generated in field nodes 1. And there are some of the codes which are commonly generated by field node 2 and field node 1. So this is a kind of comparison you can do with comparison diagram. The next thing that you need to understand is the project mapping. There are three different types of maps: conceptual map, mind map, and project map. So you need to understand a particular difference between these maps so that you may be able uh, to uh, to identify the purpose of different maps and how you can use these maps in your qualitative projects. So first of all, create a mind map. First of all, you need to understand what is the mind map and why it is used. So create a mind map to brainstorm your ideas. So when you are brainstorming some idea, you can create your mind map, what is in your mind, which is not basically available in the literature, or which you cannot find from the empirical studies, but it is in your mind. You have brainstormed some idea. So you can create the mind map to brainstorm your ideas. A mind map reflects what you think about a single topic and is usually created quickly or spontaneously. So at the beginning of your project, you might use a mind map to explore your expectations or initial theories. So whatever you think about a particular topic or particular idea, you can create a mind map on it. It is not necessary that it will also verify some theory or some idea. It may verify afterwards, after the execution of your project. But at the initial phase of your project, or at the initial phase of your research, you may have some idea in your mind that you want to create a map for. So later on, mind map can help to confirm the structure of your codes. It will let you know how you can create the structure of your codes. So mind map are preliminary a brainstorming tool that start with a central topic or main idea. Ideas that relate to central topic are presented by individual shape and connected with line to the main idea. So all ideas are connected in some way, either with at some level or in hierarchy. Sometimes you might have an idea that does not seem to be connected to any other idea. You can add this to the mind map as a floating idea. So if the idea is not connected to any other idea, you can consider it as a floating idea. To get started with a mind map, take one key concept or the term and think of all the things that might be associated with it. So I will let you know how the mind map works. For example, if I goes to the mind map, goes to the explore section, and you will see here a button for the maps. If you click it, it will show you three type of maps: project map, mind map, and concept map. As we are discussing the mind map, because it is the brainstorming idea, the idea in our mind at the initial phase of our research project or at the starting level of our research project. So let's click on it. It is asking us what you want to name this mind map. For example, I would like to write the name as a initial idea, initial idea for my mind map. Click on OK. Now it will show you the initial idea. It is asking what kind of mind map you want to create here. So edit label. For example, I would like to see, I would like to write here causes of depression as my initial idea. I am looking for causes of depression. So it is my initial idea. And as an initial idea, I would like to see what causes the depression. Maybe it would be, if I see my codes, it would be the biological factors and psychological factors. So in case of mind map, I need to see the child idea connected to causes of depression. For example, if I click on it, it will show me some child idea. For example, biological, biological causes, sibling idea. I click on it and create some sibling. For example, this is the psychological causes. Now, it is basically the idea in my mind that there might be two causes of depression: biological causes and psychological causes. And let's ignore what is we have found from different you can say respondent on from different files. Let's say is that we have brainstormed that there might be two broad categories of causes of depression: biological causes and psychological causes. At the initial phase of our project, we have brainstormed that there are two causes of depression: biological causes and psychological causes. Now, this is the basically the causes of depression idea. If I have some other floating ideas that are not connected to the causes of depression. I can click on it, and it will show me some independent concept which is not connected with causes of depression. For example, I will see, I can write here, for example, the performance of the academic performance, for example, academic performance. This is another concept. So I would like to see whether the depression, the causes of depression basically influence the academic performance that I would like to consider for my study. So this is my initial brainstorming idea. I would like to see what are the causes of depression and how these causes may influence the academic performance. After doing it, be fluid and don't censor your ideas as they flow. An idea might prompt other ideas to branch off it. They could be at the same level, the sibling idea, or go deeper into the concept child idea. As an example, you could ask someone to interview you about your research topic. Note the keywords and terms you use most, then select one of those terms to start your mind map. So, this is how you can create different types of mind map to explore your idea and how you can do it. You can also create the subcategories of your major categories. There is a question from the participant. Sir, what is the difference between ideas which we use all or specific? Like any floating idea mean we can say that unexpected idea? No. Floating idea means which is not connected with your previous idea. If let's suppose causes of depression is a independent variable and academic performance is a dependent variable, because the variable are different from each other. The causes of depression includes the biological causes and psychological causes. So we can connect it as a causes of depression with the main cause, while academic performance is another variable. So here we can say that two different concepts may be floating ideas. So in terms of academic performance, causes of depression is a floating idea, and in terms of causes of depression, academic performance is a floating idea. So floating idea means different idea or different variable actually. So this is how we can relate different variable. When should I create the mind map? When you should create the mind map? Brainstorm your starting point and any assumption. This is basically the basic things that you need to understand. So brainstorm your starting point and any assumption, map theoretical groups so that you can build your code hierarchy. It will help you, basically the mind map will help you to brainstorm what kind of codes you need to generate for conducting your research. It is basically created at the early stage of your research when you are just deciding what kind of codes I needed. So you will generate a mind map for that. So during analysis, you can also develop new codes during analysis, as we have came to know that there are certain biological factors like aging. You can connect here. There are certain factors like aging, brain chemical, gender, genetic factors, hormones, and illness. You can generate or connect these things during analysis in biological. So at initial phase, we will create this one, and afterward we can create the further things here. Like I can create here the child idea. Let me create a sibling. No, this is not sibling. Sibling idea. All right. You just need to create here a child idea. For example, here you can write here aging brain. Then you enter on it as a brain chemical. Then again, you click on it as a sibling idea, gender. Then again, as a sibling idea, genetic factor. Then again, sibling idea, hormones. Hormones. Then again, sibling idea as a illness. Illness. Now, it has created, during the analysis, we came to know that there are certain subcategories or certain open codes which are connected with biological causes. In the same way, we can create the child idea for psychological causes first. We go to here. There is a category loss here. Then after creating it, we need to create a sibling idea, that is personality. Then another sibling idea, sense of failure. Another sibling idea, stress. Another sibling idea, thinking. Now, this is how you can generate further codes or further categories during your analysis phase. So this is the procedure that you can apply using your mind map. So here is the detail during analysis. What has happened? Okay, yes. So during analysis, you can generate different codes presenting result. Plan how you tell the story of your research. So you can tell the story that at first phase, you want to understand what are the causes of depression, and you brainstorm two causes of depression: biological causes and psychological causes. Then after collecting data and consider the open coding procedure, you came to know that there are basically causes, six biological causes of depression, and there are five psychological causes of depression. During analysis, you came to know. So you can tell the story of on it. So how you can create a mind map? I have already told you this procedure. This is the way you can create a mind map. So as we have already created a mind map, so we have considered it. The second category is the concept map. Concept map is similar to your conceptual diagram. If you know the quantitative data procedure, you may consider a conceptual diagram based on some theory. Sometime your mind map may require you that you test some theory on it, whether the impact of depression, what would be the impact of depression on academic performance. And theory states that there is a negative impact of depression on academic performance. So the concept map would be different from the mind map. Mind map will let you know what you have brainstormed in your mind, while the concept map will let you know the theoretical justification of your diagram or your graph. So you can also make the mind map like this. This is another form. If you see here, there are a lot of options here. You can create like this. So there are a lot of options you can use. This is the initial formation. This is the second formation. If you try to use it, there is a third category. You can use it like this. So this is the mind map. So let me show you some other categories, that is the concept map, which is based on some theory. So let's suppose uh, I call it theoretical map. Click on OK. Now it is asking me how would you drive your theory based on this map? What kind of relationship you are expecting based on this map? And how will you relate different variable on this map? So let's suppose I would consider psychological factor here. I just need to I just need to drag and drop some of the variable from here so that I can relate them. For example, from biological factor, I would consider the illness and drag and drop here, and illness variable is here. And I would see that illness is basically related with the sense of failure. It is the idea from some theory that if a person is critically ill, it will generate the sense of failure. So let me drag it here. Sense of failure. Let me drag it here. So what I need to do, the theory state that if a person is ill, let me connect here. Now this is the concept map. If I need to connect it, I can say that if a person is ill, it will generate a sense of failure. Now this is theory. This is the concept. This is the idea I want to test here. So I believe that if a person arouse some illness or the illness increases, if you want to consider a sign, an increasing sign, you can also put it. So if a person increases illness, its sense of failure also increases. So you can put it here. You can connect it like this. So this is a concept map. What the theories or your literature or your particular hypothesis state to you. What the relationship you actually want to build, or what theory says about a particular type of variable. So you can relate a diagram like this. So it is entirely different from your mind map. The mind map is basically indicating the overall relationship between the variable. And the third category is the project map. It is also very different. It will show you the end result of your project, what you have find out, and how your results indicates the mapping relationship. So for example, this is the final map, and I will generate it like this. Now it is asking me that how would you like to indicate the uh, the item, or how you want to connect the item in your project. So for example, I have two axial codes, biological factors and psychological factors. And let's suppose I want to show them here: biological factors, psychological factors. Let me drag it. Psychological factors. Now these are the two factors I want to show here. Now, if I want to see the associated items with biological factors or psychological factors, because I have not dragged the open codes here. I just drag the axial codes, biological factors and psychological factors, but there are certain open codes here attached with psychological factors and attached with biological factors too. So if you see here, there is a horizontal part which shows add associated item. If I click on it, it will show me there are 6 children items here with biological factors. If I open it, it will show me what kind of codes are related with biological factors. What is the parent code here? It will show me causes of depression is the parent code for biological factors. Then how many files are associated with it? It is showing me 5 items are associated. Some of the field notes are associated and some of the interview files are associated. So there are 3 interview files which are associated, and there are 2 field notes which are associated with biological factors. And you can also see the coding cases. If you click on it, it will show you there are 3 cases, R1, R4, and R6, which are connected with it. So let me connect it with it. For example, I right click on it, and I basically check the show associated item, and it will show me the associated item from children. So right click on it, and I click on open item, and it will show me how many items are connected with it. It will show me the complete description of what is connected with it. So what I need to do next, I go to the layout. There are different types of layouts here. You can consider any layout like this, like this. There are different types of layout here. So add project item. What kind of items you want to connect here? So add project items from here. For example, I want to add the causes of depression here, like this. It will connect the both child items here, like this. Now it is indicating that there are 2 causes of depression, psychological factors and biological factors. I can also show the psychological factors here. From psychological factor, I came to know that stress, as you can see, there are 5 files of stress. If you see the hierarchical chart that we have created, let me show the hierarchical charts that we have created previously. For example, helping material, my project, final analysis. I think I have created here. I have created it somewhere. For example, my output file. Yes, this one. These are the psychological factors. You just need to link here only those factors which are highly significant. So stress and thinking, they are highly significant factors. Sense of failure and personality, they are least significant. So you can ignore the loss. You can ignore the loss in case of psychological factors here. So you need to ignore the loss, and you need to link it. You just need to drag and drop here, thinking. Then sense of failure. Always remember that you cannot drag them as a combination. You need to drag them one by one. So these are the four factors which are significantly impacting or which are significantly determining the psychological factors. So we can say that sense of failure, stress, thinking, and personality are the psychological factors that causes depression. In the same way, if you see the hierarchical graph, you need to identify the most significant factor, that is illness and brain chemical. Along with this genetic factor and gender, you need to ignore the aging brain and hormones, or you simply ignore the hormones here. So you go to biological factors and you ignore the hormones, and the others one you can simply drag one by one like this: genetic and illness. You can make it more visible as per your own convenience. Now, this is basically the project map, and it is showing you the most significant factors that determine your axial codes. So here we can say these are the biological factors that are significantly determining the causes of depression, and these are the psychological factors which are significantly determining the causes of depression. You can change the shape of your project map as per your own convenience. You can click any one of them to show you how you would like to see them. You can change from the layout. It will look like this. You can change it. It will look like this.